All right, we are live. I was actually planning on doing this a little bit later, but I figured why put off later what I could do right now. I got a new video for you guys, a couple of announcements I want to make, and a couple of deals for not only me, but another company and for you. And I'm going to do a unboxing, like it says here, a EGS unboxing. And then I'm going to be doing a little bit later another unboxing, which is a key issue comic that I just received in the mail yesterday. I actually got a couple of comics coming. Not any holy grails or anything, but still, considering I haven't had many comics coming in a while, I'm very happy about having some new stuff to show you. So, while I'm waiting for people to come in, let me tell you the scenario, and I'm really humbled by this. And I want to give a shout out. Excuse me, I have a tickle in the back of my throat. Shout out to Tony over at EGS, which is Expert Grading Services. He contacted me about a month ago, and we talked on the phone, had a great conversation. As a matter of fact, we just had another conversation about half hour ago. And he said he liked the reviews that I did with PGX. He appreciates me trying to be as honest as possible. He basically watches, and as a matter of fact, if you look at some of my live shows, and I always show the live chats during live shows, he's commented on many a video during a live stream. So he watches my videos, and he is subscribed, I believe. But he called me one day, and he said he would like to do a similar deal with PGX. And with the same thing, do not get paid. He understood that I do not sign contracts. He respects my point of view. He wants me to be open and honest about his company, which I really appreciate. He's going to allow me to send in 2 books every month, where I will get them pressed, dry cleaned, graded, and signature verification if need be. And they will get the publicity, of course. But I also want to make sure, just like with PGX, I wanted to do the same, or at least a deal for you guys. So if you ever wanted to send any books to EGS, if you use the code WeLoveComics, they will not only get you, if you send 10 books or more to EGS and use the code WeLoveComics, you will get one of your books pressed for free, and you will get 5% off of your total grading charge. So they're doing 2 things for you. And I think that's really nice of Tony, who is the owner of EGS, to do that. Let me show the website really quick. Well, actually, before I do that, there's a couple of bullet points he wanted me to mention. So I am more than happy to do that, because I like doing this stuff. And, you know, I was straight up with him, and I'm like, you know, you realize I don't have a lot of subscribers. You know, I'm never going to have 1 million subscribers. But I'm very honest and forthcoming with my opinions, and I'm going to share my opinions, both good and bad. So he knew the scenario and has no problem with that, and I really like that. And these are the companies I want to work with. I don't want to work with companies where their only #1 goal is money, money, money. I don't care if we screw our clients or customers. I care about money. That's not what I'm about. I like the fact that in the conversation that we had, he started out with about $2,000 to start a company. And he's actually turned it into something pretty decent. And I have a lot of respect for that. Now, am I going to sit here and say EGS is going to be the next CGC? Well, time will tell on that, but let's be real. Like I always say, even on my PGX videos, CGC is #1, and they're probably going to stay that way for a while until people realize that other companies benefit you by existing, because competition leads to better quality, cheaper prices, and better service. So we want competition. But always keep in mind that the little guys need to thrive as well. So I have no problem helping them out. So let me show a couple of bullet points, because I asked him to send me an email of things he wanted me to mention, and then I will show the website, but I did post it in the description of this. Well, it's actually in the live chat, so you can check that out. But their actual website, it's EGScomicsgrading.com. So it's comics with an S. So E as in Edward, G as in girl, S as in Sam, comicsgrading.com. So go check them out. Use the code WeLoveComics, and you can, if you send 10 books or more with that code, you'll get one of them pressed for free. So just mention which one you want pressed for that discount. And they will also give you 5% off your order. So a couple of things they wanted to mention is EGS gives you the option of colored or custom labels if you choose. Now, I don't know if there's an extra cost on that. I don't think there is, but this is new for me as well. So ask them about that, or if he's in the live chat, or if he wants to leave a comment after the video's uploaded. If there is a price for the option of colored or custom labels, please indicate that, because they didn't write that in the email, and I want to make sure if there is, people know about it. They do pressings and dry cleanings. So I don't know if that's in-house, so if he could mention that and clarify that, that would be helpful. They offer signature verification. They offer free grader's notes provided on a certificate of authenticity for every book. So what they do is they supply a COA with the grader's notes. I prefer them on the back of the label, to be perfectly honest, but that's just, that's good as well, because you have it in hand. That is free. They offer an art label for your sketch covers that artists do sketches on, which I think is pretty cool. Again, I don't know if that's an extra charge because they did not label it. And again, the We Love Comics discount is 5% off if you send 10 books or more, and you'll get one pressed for free using the code We Love Comics in the... you could add that in, because I don't think they'll have it on their actual website or anything like that. I mean, they might add it. You never know. But this is a shout-out to Anthony Trombetta, who is the owner of PGX. So let me just show the website really quick. Now, what they did was, I didn't send any books to get graded. He actually just sent me a book as a gift. And I thought that was really cool. So I don't know what it is. So let me show the website really quick. And let me get that out of the way. So here's their website, and again, it's egscomicsgrading.com. And you can see the website here. Submit your comics, pricings, EGS services. There is no membership fee, fast turnaround times. I guess that we'll see. Because I'm going to be sending in at the end of the month. He is allowing me to send in 2 comics. So we'll see how long it takes. I don't want any special treatment. So we'll see how long it takes for them to turn around. 99% UV protected slabs. And that's nice and everything, but I mean, even with 99%, even 100% UV protected slabs, if you put them in direct sunlight, it's going to affect the comics. So be careful with something like that. It will help, but you don't want anything in direct sunlight, because it's going to eventually damage the comics. So always be careful about that. It's not like it's misleading or anything, but people may think, you're not going to go wearing, sunglasses and at 5 o'clock in the afternoon stare directly into the sun. It's not going to cause good things at that time. And they also have custom colored labels, but it does not say if there's a charge on that. But you can always ask them. So let me go back to the video camera. There we go. So we could do the unboxing. And I have a comic that he sent. It's one of their graded books. I don't know what it is. He sent me a picture and an email, but I didn't want to look at it. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the grade is. It's not one of my books. He was just kind enough to send me one. And then afterwards I have an unboxing of a key issue comic I bought actually about 3 or 4 days ago and got it already. So very happy about that. So shout out to EGX. Give them a try if you want to check them out. Here's what they sent me. So let's do the unboxing live and we'll discover what it is. And again, like I said, it's not one of my books. And to show you, I don't know if you, well, there we go. There's the EGS label. There's also their address. So they're actually located in Florida. So that's always good. And talking to him, he seems like a very, straight shooter. And I like that. I like the fact that I can talk to owners of companies and actually have decent conversations. We're the same age. He was born the same year as I was, 1970. So we're both old farts. And let's see. Protection-wise, I like these. I've never seen these before. They're kind of like jagged, so you could put multiple slabs inside. So I'm liking the packaging. And even though there's one comic, and I'm trying not to look at it. All right, so the back is there. They have another set of what I just showed at the bottom. But I actually like this. They have these special foam inserts with the slits in them, so you could put multiple comics in them. And I'll show from, well, I don't want to show, but they show on either side, and there's also some bubble wrap. So I like that. I might actually, I'm definitely going to keep these, so if I sell a slab book, that'll give some extra support. So I will have to say right off the bat with the packaging, I like that. That's something new. I've never seen that before with any of the other grading companies, and I've used all three of the other major companies. As you know, I have the deal with PGX, but I've also sent comics to CGC and CBCS, but it's been probably 7 or 8 years. All right, so without looking at the front yet, I'm going to show you the COA. So let me look at it really quick. So they send this with every book. It's a certificate of authenticity. It'll tell you the book, the grade, and what's wrong with it potentially. Of course, if it's a 10.0, you're not going to have to worry about that. Okay, so I'm not familiar with this book. It is Green Arrow number 2, 9.8. Now, they did upgrade their slabs. I'll be honest, the original slabs, because I talked to Tony probably about 5 or 6 years ago when he basically started his company, and I told him a couple of things that I thought could use some improvement. So we did talk years ago, but this is the first time we had a conversation in years. But I have to be honest, I did not like their original way they were doing their slabs. I was the one that told them to do the multiple stickers to make it harder for somebody to take it out. It seemed like one of those kind of slabs that they originally had where you could just literally just put any comic in there. And I thought it needed to be more secure. They have gotten rid of those, and they have what looks to be like any of the other companies, their slabs. So I like this. Now, me particular, this is just personal preference. I don't really care about color coordination. There are some people that like that, but I kind of think when the colors are the same as the comic, it kind of takes away from it a little bit. Now again, that's just personal preference for myself. You might like that, but I think, in my opinion, if I was going to have a comic graded by a company, I wouldn't want it to match it. See, because it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of all blends in a little bit. So again, that's just a personal preference. But I think they wanted to add the color coordination so you could see that that can be done. So if you like those kind of things, that is an option to use. All right. So, in my opinion, I think the descriptions and the fonts need to be a little bit bigger. Because somebody, like an old fart like me, is going to have a harder time reading it. So I think if they made, especially here, the lettering a little bigger. I mean, these are just nitpicking little tiny things. The case is a major improvement. So these seem more sturdy, because the other one seemed a lot thinner, and they kind of felt like you could snap them in half almost pretty easy. And somebody just gave me a super chat, so thank you. Life is good. He says, today is my birthday, and watching you makes it better. I'm glad you feel that way. Many people would probably disagree, but hey, if that makes you happy watching my channel, that's awesome. And happy birthday, by the way. He says, especially since I found out you're older than me. Not by much, though. Yeah, I will be 53 on November 9th. So yeah, I'm an old fart. But as they say, you're only as old as you act, so I'm still 14. Which means I'm not legal to drink, which is good because I don't drink anyway. So, happy birthday, and everybody, if you can, life is good. Make sure you give them a shout-out and a happy birthday. Jacob said, don't know what I missed, but what is the price to get a book slabbed? Let's go on the website, and we'll check that, because I do not know. We literally just had the phone call today and the last one was a month ago. So let me put the window capture back on, and let's go to pricing. Now, I will say, because I remember back in the day when I first talked to him, like I said, about 6 years or so, I told him I thought the prices were a little bit too high, especially for a new company. They were basically matching CGC at the time. And I said, the best way to think about it is, if you have a can of Coke or Pepsi, that's $1 a can, and you have a no-name brand that no one's ever heard of, let's say Walmart came up with a Walmart Cola, and they charge the same price. If you're going to get something that's familiar and known for the same price, why would you get the cheaper alternative if it's not cheaper? So, as far as books are concerned, pricing, I mean, if you have millions of dollars, then that stuff doesn't matter. But let's see what we got here. Raw grade only, no encapsulation, $10 a book. Now, 2 months, I don't know what that means. But they will grade your books without encapsulation for somebody who just wanted to know the grades. They do pre-screenings. If the book fails, you pay $5 a book. I mean, all companies do that kind of stuff. Expert certified choice. Modern is $20 a book. Silver and gold, $25 a book. So that's not bad. Okay, so the 2 months means the time it generally takes to get them back. Okay. Because they said the expert certified choice, 3 to 4 months. So at least they're being honest. They're not telling you, 25 business days and you get them back 8 months later. All right, expert certified premiered. Modern is $35 a book. Silver and gold is $40 a book, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I don't know if that's considered business days or they just mean that in total, so that's something you might want to ask them. Then they have expert certified ultimate. Modern is $55 a book. Silver, gold, $70 a book. 1 week turnaround. So they have a lot of variations on the speed it'll take. So basically, the more you pay, the faster you'll get it. And then they have the expert certified same day. Modern is $90 a book. Silver and gold is $100 a book. You'll get it in 1 to 3 days max. Again, it doesn't say business days. But of course, you're not going to get books on Sundays. Then you have expert certified signature series. Witnessed and or verified. $10 a signature, 14 business days. They do pressings. Modern is 13. Pre-1978, 20. Takes 40 business days. They also do pressings and dry cleanings. And there are the prices there. Modern pressing, 7. Pre-1978 pressing, 6. So it's actually cheaper to do an earlier book. That's interesting. And 40 business days. So it will take some time to get your books. So here we go. This is what they consider modern and gold and silver. All prices exclude shipping and insurance. Of course, that's to be expected with any of the companies. Modern books are defined as those published after 1978. So a modern book to them is any book published after 1978. Silver Age books are defined as those published 1958 through 1978. Now, technically, that's incorrect, but that doesn't mean that they can't choose those dates, because Silver Age actually started in 1956, but it's a 2-year difference. And they're saying Golden Age books are defined as those before 1958. So that's their rules, but like I said, that's off a little bit, because like I said, Silver Age is actually, and I guess it is speculative, but they're saying, from my understanding, Silver Age is from and it also shows because Silver Age was actually from 1956 to basically 1969, early 1970. But I guess when they're considering as far as grading and pressings and stuff, each company's going to be a little different with that. So I have no problem with that at all. Let's see about turning times. Let's see. Standard turnaround time is an estimate. Of course, estimate is based on moment orders are received in-house with paid invoice. It does not say if that is considered... Okay, because right here it does say 40 business days. Here it says business days. These just say 1 to 2 weeks. So I think, in my opinion, they need to clarify that a little bit more. But those are just minor things. And I think that's why people appreciate my reviews, that even if somebody's going to be kind enough to do stuff like this, I want to keep it real. And if anything, I don't see them as negatives. I see them as room for improvement to become better. And I think Tony appreciates that, and I'm sure some of my subscribers do. But you basically go with the companies that work for you. I like this comic. I've never heard of it before. Green Hour #2. You guys know me. I'm not a new comic collector, and I'm not a DC major fan. I mean, I don't have a problem with DC at all. As a matter of fact, I love collecting, and I put them away, Golden Age DC. But it's still, they sent this just to be kind. So I am not going to be somebody that's nothing but, I'm going to be nothing but grateful to somebody that wants to do kind things. So I think overall, the case is very sturdy. They put a Mylar type of bag over it. So I think the cases look really good. The book is a little off-centered. See, it's kind of on an angle, but that could have been through shipping. I wouldn't blame them. I'm not a stickler on that. Like, something has to be exactly, parallel to the ground to be considered good. That's just minor stuff, but I am noticing that. I don't see any Newton rings. No cracks on the case. The case is very clear. I do like this, although me personally, and that's why I mentioned it to PGX, I do like the grader's notes on the back, but again, that's just personal preference. Yours could be different. They do have their website on the back, and it looks like they also have a serial number with a ton of zeros. So, who knows, maybe one day they'll have so many people going to have them grade their books. There we go. So many people grading their books. You could see, or maybe you can't. But this is number 4523. So I do like the certificate, although, like I said, I prefer it on the back of the slab, but PGX is the only one that does that, and that's because I asked them to do it. But this is cool. You could put it in the back like they did, because I'll show you where they had it, but I wanted you guys to see it. So they have the resealable Mylar covering for the case. So when I first saw it, they had it inside there. So that's a good thing if you're going to sell a book. But keep in mind, not everybody grades their books to turn around and sell them. Some people will get their books graded because they just want to hang them on the wall, or they just want to protect them. I think this is an absolute improvement from their original with the 4 stickers and the thin slab, because honestly, I just thought they were way too fragile, and I thought they were way too easily able to be opened up and probably have another book put in it instead. So this is a major improvement. Like I said, they do the color coordination as an option. I prefer a yellow label if it's signature, blue label, purple label, green label. I was even disappointed when PGX stopped the purple labels and the green labels, and they just did a little green for in the lettering for qualified and purple for restored, and they would mention it, but I like the color coordination better. As far as purple means that it's a restored book, green means it's qualified, maybe due to a missing page or a cut coupon or something, or writing on the cover if they don't do signature verification like CGC. Blue for a normal. So the color coordination, that to me is just a personal preference. You may like that. Now, how many colors they have, I do not know. You'll have to contact EGS about that. Personally, if this is just a regular book and what it looks like it is, I would prefer the blue label. I like the mismatch because it makes the comic stand out more. To me, the coloring kind of just blends in a little bit too much. But again, and I'll say it 500 times, that's just a personal preference. You may like that, or you could choose different colors. You know, it's not like they just randomly pick one. I'm sure you're allowed to pick it. But I am old school when it comes to the grading. I like it to be all universal. It's almost like an outlet. You shouldn't have to have 50 different outlets for 50 different items that you buy. Everything should be able to plug into that outlet. So I think with all the grading companies, they should really, all of them, keep the same colored labels, keep it as a universal thing, so it just makes it easier for people to understand just by seeing the color. Like, you don't want to go to a different state where the traffic lights are blue, black, and orange. Another one is silver, yellow, and purple. They may work for the people there, but the people that are not from there are going to get into plenty of car accidents. So you want red, yellow, green everywhere, so everybody universally knows, okay, green means go, red means stop, and yellow means hurry the F up. So I think, as far as I understand why companies do it, they're trying to separate from the other companies. Because like I said, PGX changes their labels a little bit too. To me personally, like CGC, I think they charge $5 for the labels. I personally could give a rat's behind about spending extra money to have an image of Spider-Man on the label. And to me, if I have two comics side to side for sale, and they're the same price, I wouldn't care which one I got if one had the Spider-Man label and one didn't. I definitely would not spend extra money to get it, but I can understand why some people would do that. Amazing Burfinator, good to see you, man. He says, is blue the standard label? Yes, blue would be the standard label for them, but you can get customs. So this is a custom label. I think they sent me that because they wanted to show that that is an option. But if this was, and I don't see a signature or anything like that, and they don't mention it, and it's, you know, as far as I'm concerned, not restored or not, you know, not qualified, this would have a blue label. So I think, in my opinion, I think the four major companies, and I will consider EGS now, because especially they've upped their game with the casings to be up and coming. I think they all need to have universals, like an outlet or like a traffic light, so people can know that if they're getting a product, they can see it instantly and know what it is. Because if you saw this was a green because somebody bought a green custom label, you might think, well, does that mean it's qualified? Or what if somebody had a purple label here because they like the color purple? Somebody might think, mistaken that for a restored book. So I could see where that could cause potential concerns, but that's something a 2-second email could fix. But these are just my opinions, and I think that's why Tony and also Daniel over at PGX appreciate what I do, because I'm going to keep it straight with you, and I think that's what my subscribers like. Again, I'm not going to have 1 million subscribers, because I care more about integrity than money. And I see, and I'm not just talking about comic book channels, I see channels all over YouTube where they're afraid to do the right thing or say the right thing or go against what's normal these days because they're afraid to lose ad revenue. I could give a rat's behind. As a matter of fact, for those of you who've been following me since my original We Love Comics channel, I used to have live shows where 5,000 people were watching. But when it came to the drama, I stopped my channel because I could have continued to do that, and I'd probably have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers at this point. But that's not what I want my channel to be about. So I think that's why I like working with these smaller companies. Because first of all, I can talk to the owners. I have the phone numbers of both of them now. I can have conversations. I can share my input. They will actually, at the very least, consider them. And like I said, PGX, I'm the reason why they put the labels as an option on the back of their slab. Who knows, maybe EGS will listen to some of the things I've said in this very video and say, you know what, I had never thought of that. You know, just because I say it doesn't mean it should be gospel or is right. All I can do is share my opinion. So, slab looks good. It is very sturdy. This one is 100 times better than the original one, so that will give you more security and safety for your grading. Custom labels, that's more of a thing whether you like it or you don't. I am not a person that likes the custom labels, especially if you have to pay extra money for them. I think it's a ridiculous waste of money, especially if you're trying to get the most profit, if you are using your books to sell. And let's face it, a lot of people get their books graded to sell them. And that's why you see so many people when they're expecting a 9.8 and get a 9.6, you think they just robbed their car. There's only one reason for that. It's because they're not going to get as much money. So to me, there are people who will get the labels because they just think it's cool. And then it's fine. But if you think it's going to up the retail value of the comic, you're buying the book for the book, not for the frills around it. So I am not for that, but that doesn't mean you have to agree with me. It is never about what I say is gospel. I'm sharing my point of view. Some things you may agree with, some things you may not agree with. But overall, I want to thank Tony for giving me this opportunity. So every month I'm going to be allowed to send 2 books in. I will get them pressed, dry cleaned, graded, signature verification if there's a book that's signed for free. I'm not going to be expecting any faster turnaround service. I want it to be the normal so people can experience how long it takes for them to return. They get the publicity, and it's straight up real publicity, not just reading off a cue card saying how wonderful a company is and they can do no wrong. I'm not about that. But you also get the benefit, because then I'll put it again in the live chat. If you send in 10 books or more to EGS, and I have the link of the email in the live chat here. But if you use the code WeLoveComics, if you send 10 books or more, you can get one of them pressed for free, and they will give you 5% off of your total order. I think that's nice of them to do. So thank you to Tony and EGS for giving me this opportunity. Very nice of him to send this. I never asked for it. It was his idea. Gave me a lot of compliments, and I like the fact that even though he knows I'm a small channel, he appreciates my straightforwardness. And those are the kind of companies I want to deal with. So I want to thank you guys for that, and thank EGS. So give them a try. Base something on your own experience. I like these new slabs. Color coordination stuff, not my personal choice, but it may be yours. So let me know what you think about that. But before we go, as I promised, I don't know why, it's so funny. When I buy a book on eBay or anywhere, but 99% of the time I'm buying comics is on eBay, I always, and I recommend people do this, I always tell people, don't assume the person knows or cares about how they're going to send the comics to you. And when I win a book, first of all, I pay for it right away, which every seller appreciates. But then I send them a message saying, could you please send the comic well packaged in a box? I explain why. So this way they cannot be folded or shoved or damaged, or a lot harder to be damaged. Not every time it works, but most of the time it does. There's only one comic in here, and this person went above and beyond for what's supposed to be one comic, unless it's a scam. So let's hope it's not that, but hey, that'll add more drama to the video. And then I think I will have to, unless they included the receipt, I think I'll have to look up what I paid for it. Alright, so they filled it with the packing peanuts and put the comic straight in the middle. So that's a great job. And see, as they say, there's an old saying, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So never be afraid to ask a seller to do something like that. Because like I said, don't assume that they know or even care. Sometimes people sell books. I have had videos back when I was in New York of very key issue books that they sent in a manila envelope without a bag and board. Alright, so this is the book. It is a key book. I have several of these, but I thought now might be the good time to pounce on one, and I'll show you why in a second. Let me just look up what I paid for it, so give me a second. And then I will show the book. And guys, also check the description of this video, because I do all different sorts of discounts and things that I don't even talk about. So if you check that, especially if you're interested in getting any of my mystery boxes, I've yet to sell one in a couple of years. So I'd like to fix that one day. Check out the description and see all about that. But I want to thank all the people that hit the like button. And let's just look really quick, because I have a couple other comics that are on their way. I have 3 more comics. I believe they will all be in the same package. And this person gave me a heck of a deal on them. Some big discounts. I always say never be afraid to ask for a discount. The worst somebody can do is say no. So there's no harm in taking the chance. Okay, so I have the price with shipping and handling. Well, I'll show the book first. Alright, so this is a high-grade copy. I'm not sure if there's a tiny little curve there, but I think you might still be, if there's only one minor detail, it could potentially still get a 9.8. But they said high grade. So, in my opinion, I always say about between a 9.4 and a potential 9.8. So there is a minor, tiny bit of the tip that's dented a little bit. I wonder if you could still get a 9.8 with that. Maybe a 9.6, but I don't care. Alright, so here's the book. X-Men number 266, which is arguably the first appearance of Gambit. And I say arguably because there is another book, the annual, where he's in it for more than a cameo. And he actually talks in several different panels, so I don't know how they don't have that the first appearance. But it is what it is. But also, this is a newsstand variant. And you can tell with the barcode right there. So this is between a 9.4 and a 9.8. Of course, I have to look at the entire book. First appearance, arguably, of Gambit. I had bought one of these, either 1 or 2 of these as a kid for cover price. So I didn't pay cover price, but I paid decent considering, because I appreciate higher grade newsstands. Now I know there's a bunch of people out there that could care less between newsstand variants and the regular comics, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But especially when it comes to high grade, because the newsstand variants didn't come from comic book stores where they put them directly into a bag and board. These were in places like 7-Eleven or, you know, some local store that could have had them in one of those spinner racks where they can get damaged very easily. So higher grade newsstands, on average, tend to be rarer and will get a higher selling price, especially at a 9.8. So I like collecting newsstand variants. Again, I don't base things on what other people do. I base them on what I do. So with shipping and handling and the fact that eBay charges taxes, which I hate for a comic book. You're not supposed to do that, but you know, eBay takes all the money they can. I won it for $200, but with shipping and the taxes, it came to $220.05. Now, with the fact that we're getting the Deadpool movie with Wolverine, and they are going to be showing a bunch of X-Men, will they use Gambit in this movie? I honestly probably think they will not, because if they're going to be bringing back a whole bunch of the old X-Men, they might not. But then again, remember, Gambit was in the Wolverine Origins movie. So would they bring him back as well? I'd love to see it, but I think it's just a matter of time before somebody like Gambit, and I would love to see him in the trench coat and everything. I don't know about the hot pink outfit. That's definitely 90s for you. But I love the overcoat. And I would love to see the 90s Rogue. And that was a relationship with Gambit and Rogue at that time. I mean, I loved Cyclops' 90s Jim Lee version of his suit. With the crossover with the bands and the yellow. I really love that over his original costume. But I think for $220.05 for a high-grade newsstand, which I would say probably is a 9.6, but like I said, a 9.8 is not a perfect book. A 9.8 has a minuscule defect, and I don't see any ticks along the spine at all. As a matter of fact, the spine is nice and aligned. The other corners look great, and there's like a microscopic little tiny dent. You're not even going to see it. So, it could still potentially get a 9.8 because with a 9.8, you are allowed a minuscule defect. People seem to forget that. A book does not have to be perfect to get a 9.8. A book has to be perfect to get a 10 or a 9.9. This is definitely not a 9.9. But it still could get a 9.8, but even with a 9.6, I'd be happy when it comes to a newsstand variant. Would I love to get a 9.8? Sure. Will I? Time will tell when I get that book sent out to be graded. So let me just see. Okay, I thought there was a color-breaking line, but that's actually on the bag. So let me know what you think about this as far as the price. You know, would you pay for it? That doesn't mean it's going to change my mind if everybody said no, because I base things on what I would do, not what everybody else would do. Let me see. Oh, Who Dat Comics and Movies is here. Good to see you. Some old school guys are here today. Magic Mike guy is playing Gambit in Deadpool, isn't he? Or is it just a rumor? I don't know. At this point, everything's speculation, because even if something is true, doesn't mean it can't change. Because remember, in the original Deadpool movie, they were supposed to have Omega Red. And he was confirmed, and they actually did movie scenes with him. And they took it out. So, just because even if something is true at that moment, doesn't mean it will be in the movie. So, to me, I don't worry about rumors or even confirmations until a movie comes out. Because they could have a whole scene with Gambit. They could have it all filmed, and they edit it out. Or they could not have him in there, and all of a sudden, you know, they do a review, and they say they need something as a filler, and maybe they put him in last minute. So things can always change, and nothing is ever etched in stone. So, that's the video. Go check out EGX. Give them a shot. Again, I will post the link in the live chat. But watch the beginning of the video if you want to see all the other information I provided. I love the new slabs. I wish them nothing but the best. I look forward to a future with working with them. I'll be sending at the end of the month 2 of my comics to have them grade. We'll see how long it takes for them to come back and what grades they will be. And you guys can benefit by using the code WeLoveComics. If you send 10 books or more, you'll get one of the books pressed for free, and you will get 5% off your total order price. So I think that's a nice deal. So thanks for watching. Out of the 17 people watching, 10 people hit the like button. Again, I want to give a shout out to Life is Good. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to you. So because it's your birthday, not because of the super chat, even though I appreciate that, but the fact that it's your birthday, you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. So Life is Good. If you have a YouTube channel and you want to post a link in the comment section to one of your videos or to your channel, you can do so. If not, if you don't have a channel, if you want to put a link to one of your social networks, you can do that. Or if you don't have that, if you want to promote something you sell, as long as it's something that's age appropriate, you could post a link to one of your sales. I don't care where it's from. Just keep in mind that I always have to approve any link, so it will not show up right away. I have to approve it, which means if you see a link on any of my commented videos, it means I approved it, and it will take you somewhere that is not inappropriate. It's because I don't want anybody clicking on a link that takes you to some porn site or something. That's just not what my channel's all about. That's why you'll never see that. So if you see a link, it means I've checked it and verified it. So thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate those that are in the live chat. Let me know what you think about this new endeavor with EGS. Have you ever tried them? What's your opinion? What do you think about my review? Do you think it was honest and fair? I'd love to hear your opinion, so leave them in the comments section. So I got some more videos coming later in the week when I get those other books. It's nice to be able to do that, and hopefully you'll stick around, maybe even hit subscribe. I'm not going to tell you to hit the like button. I'm not one of those people. If you don't know how to do it by now, you've never been on YouTube, so I'm not one of those people. But if you do, that's awesome. Thanks for watching, whether you're a subscriber or not. Check out some of my other videos if you are so inclined. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. And as you could see in the thumbnail and in the image you're seeing on the screen right now, that is another one of my AI art designs that I did. And somebody asked me the other day, or my last video, where I go for my AI art. It's a website called Night Cafe. So if you ever go to nightcafe.com, I'm there, and it's actually under We Love Comics. I don't know if you could directly look somebody up, but I'm under We Love Comics. You could see all the images I have posted. Just made this one today, especially for this video. So as usual, I would always love your opinion of what you think of the AI art that I do. That's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for hitting the like button. Happy birthday to Life is Good. Hope you have a great day today. Thank you for spending some of your birthday with me. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next video.